Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Ott's here, and it is Tuesday morning, and we're doing Tuesday trivia. Raptor Freak Tuesday trivia, not classic Jurassic, Tuesday trivia. And we're doing it on the book that I reviewed on Sunday, the Role Player book, along with the show that Jerome put out on Sunday called Family Business, Episode 1. So if you watched that show from Sunday, if you're familiar with the book, Role Player, which we reviewed on Sunday, which is a fantastic book. Once again, go out and get it. Support Junkyard Dog, Jerome Williams, former Raptor, the Raptors community ambassador. Get his book. It's very informative. It's about his life. It tells you all his secrets to how to be successful as a role player in your life. So yeah, this book is what the trivia is on, to an extent, but also at the same time, it's about the TV show Family Business with Jerome Williams featured in it. So we'll start this very, very soon. Looks like we've already got a good amount of people here. I'm expecting Commissioner of Trivia, Adriana, will be here to adjudicate for the game. And yeah, we'll do it in a sec. Isaac Campbell's got the dog parade out. The dog pound is here. I see that Isaac is moonlighting as a dog walker. It looks like he's got a toy poodle. He's got a little brown dog with a little color over its eye. He's got looks like a seeing eye dog with him too. And two of them actually. And then one dog's just cute with its face. I think it's that same little dog. So it looks like maybe he's walking four dogs. And the little dog made a little face at the end. So Isaac, good to see you. You got a side gig. Dog walking. That's right. Trevor J is here. Good morning to the Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J, legendary hairstylist of the city of Toronto. Good morning to you, sir. Sometimes people in your life come with extension dates or expiration dates, you should say. Their roles in your life are over. Cherish the lesson, love them for it, bless them, and move on with your life. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see what you're saying. There's people for a reason and people for a season, people for this, and that's this, and that's that. Yeah, I can see what you're saying, Trevor. Thank you for the words of wisdom. As always, we appreciate Commissioner Trevor J being in the house to help us have fun. Also, Trevor's bringing up some news that I heard. This is kind of not important, but we'll talk about it. Stephen A. Smith is mad at Michelle Obama. Now, Stephen A.'s politics are getting weird. In some ways, he's selling out. In some ways, he's showing signs of being a Trump bootlicker. And that's sad. That's sad because a man like him who's so outspoken and passionate, he should be on the side of good and not bootlicking for the establishment. But the money's where the establishment is. So that man will sell out his morals, sell out himself just to be able to be making that top dollar on ESPN. Yeah, it's annoying. Now, all right, so this is what it is. Stephen A. Smith's mad with Michelle Obama for saying when she looks at ESPN First Take, she watches it for like an hour. It's like watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They're always arguing and they don't like each other. I mean, this is another case of an Obama member, Barack before, and now Michelle, being very astute and understanding basketball and watching it and saying, yeah, this is what's going on. I love that she said this. She's exactly right. I've been complaining about ESPN for years now about how they cover basketball and how it's so stupid and they're horrible at it. And well, now we get a bona fide, intelligent, amazing person, Michelle Obama, calling them out for it. And she's exactly right. And Stephen A. Smith can get mad about it, but she's exactly right. In fact, he could get on the air and act like a little bitch about it, and he will prove her point. So either way, bro, she's right. And if you don't like it, change your fucking behavior is what I tell Stephen A. Smith right now. Michelle Obama is exactly right with her point. And Barack was right on a lot of his points when he analyzes basketball. He looks at the game of NBA. He knows what's going on in it. This man knows what's going on. Barack knows basketball. Well, his wife knows ESPN and how shitty they are. And she's exactly right. Stephen A., you don't like it? Stop acting like a housewife and arguing with Kendrick Perkins and all your bullshit that you waste our time with. And why are we supposed to watch you? Seriously, you're not entertaining to watch. You're just some angry idiot or something like that. I don't know. Either way. Good morning to Trucker Kaz. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. And Fiercey also, good morning, fam, and happy Tuesday. I missed part of the stream on Saturday, but I had a feeling you would have Jerome Williams as the trivia topic. Yeah, this Sunday we did the book report, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, in some ways, these kind of questions for this trivia today are gettable, even if you didn't read the book. In some ways, you're going to have to maybe let me give you clues. If we're getting in places where the guesses are not getting, I will give you guys extra clues to get you there eventually. So you'll be all right either way. We'll figure it out. Randolph is here. Good to see Randolph Phillips early in the stream. Lex and our beloved Raptor Freaks family, blessings. Always listen well to hear what people are not saying and be better prepared to give a respond. Always be slow to speak. Wow, these are good words of wisdom. I probably needed them this weekend. I probably needed them this weekend, Randolph. I might have needed to hear these on Friday or Saturday. Yeah, I'm glad to hear them now, though. But yeah, always listen to hear what people are not saying. Yes, yes. The silence or the places where they maybe should have apologized, the places where they maybe should have said something in that moment, but they didn't. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. People cannot be controlled, but observing and seeing what they're doing will tell you a lot about what they care about. That's it right there. Randolph, I appreciate you so much. Blessings to Phillips family, all the Raptor Freak families. I'm using the light today. Do you think the lighting's good? In some ways, I feel like it's making me look more wrinkly. In some ways, it's like I'm using the light today. Like if I turn it off, that's what it looks like. Like, I don't know, light on or light off. I guess maybe we should do a poll. Light on, light off, wax on, wax off. We'll do a poll real quick. Why not? Let's do a poll real quick. Should Lex use the light? Should Lex use the light? Use the light. Because I'm not using the mic. The mic has been such an issue the last few days. I'm not even messing with the microphone right now. So I figured, wow, why don't I use the light instead? My brother got me this light last Christmas. And let's see. You guys, we'll put the poll up. Should Lex use the light? And I'll give you the contrast. No light. Me this with the light. The light. Oh! Either way, it's going to maybe help me read the trivia better. Adriana is here. The commissioner of trivia is here also. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. You are right, Trevor, about people. Yeah, Trevor's interesting about the expiration date on people and stuff like that. It's tough. I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to keep connections with people. You have to work hard on them, and you have to continue to grow together. And sometimes things evolve and change in different ways. But if you really value the person, you will make the changes, or you will go with them through the different phases and figure it out. And in some ways, it's tough. It's tough because things change. Yeah, just give me the light. Sean Paul track. Okay, just give me the light. Okay, so you want that light. Okay. Cass saying, I don't really notice a difference between the light and no light. Okay, 67% are saying yes to the light right now. So, all right, we'll do the light. Fiercely said, give me the light. All right, let me put the glasses on. It's time. Let's go into this. Of course, I said today's trivia subject is Jerome Williams. And if you have the book, well, you got an advantage. I know Monique has the book. If Monique is here, shine bright like a diamond. All right, okay. All right. Re, shine bright like a diamond. All right, let's go. Raptor Freak Tuesday trivia. We got it right here. These are role player trivia, Jerome Williams trivia, family business trivia. Yeah. All right, you guys ready for the first question? Here we go. First person to write in the answer will get 100 points. 17 questions. Lots of opportunities to get Raptor Freak trivia points. Our leader, Fiercey Salsera, is got a good lead right now, just so you know. Yeah. All right, here we go. Question number one, guys. What does R.O.L.E stand for in his book? What do the acronym R.O.L.E stand for on Jerome Williams' new book, Role Player? What does the R.O.L.E stand for? Yeah, it's an acronym, and it's a good one. It's a good one for this. I feel like the light is going to be reflecting off the glasses, so I have to look a certain way. so you're not seeing the light off the glasses. But what does R.O.L.E stand for on Jerome's book, Role Player? I talked about this. I said it on the stream. In some ways, if you were watching me on Sunday, you should have taken notes like it was a lecture. And I'm a professor at a high esteemed university that hopefully is giving the middle finger to Donald Trump. So yeah, it was a class on Sunday, and I hope you took notes, class, because the quiz is today. That's right. So what does the acronym Role Player mean? R.O.L.E. What does the R.O.L.E stand for in Jerome's book? In some ways, this may have to be an open book test. In some ways, if it does seem like it's going a little bit, I would say give it like 30 seconds and then go ahead and Google. That's right. Registered obstruction line equator. I love that. This is what I wanted. Creative answers that I want to give points to. I'm going to give a dunk to it because that's weird. Registered obstruction line equator. That sounds like a job with the Division of Highway Safety. Registered obstruction line equator. Like they are out there making sure the road is level, so the road is safe to drive on. No freaking clue. All right, we're giving a dunk to Kareem for creative answer. If not, it's completely, absolutely wrong every which way. But at least it's creative. 197 on the dunk charts for Kareem. Let's see. Randolph saying, Lex, the light brings out your youth. So yes, use the light. Some men love darkness because light exposes their deeds. Oh, man, we're getting a little extra word of wisdom right there. All right, so I'll use the light. I may not use it every single day, but maybe on days where I have to read. Let's see. No freaking clue. Kareem Thomas has no clue. All right, I'm going to say this, guys. If we're on these questions, we're stumbling. Don't be afraid to Google it. You guys can Google it up if it's getting a little bit like this. Let's just say we've had a little bit of fun with the question. Sphercy, if you want to go get it, is what I'm saying. I'm at the GOAT. If you are lurking and you want to go get it, is what I'm saying here. So anybody wants to go get the acronym, you can look it up online and tell me what the acronym stands for. This is important. It's the whole theme of the book that Jerome made. Yeah, Fiercey's looking. She's going to look. Number one top fan, Fiercey Salsera, with the number one. Isaac was number one earlier. Adriana knows the answer because we went over the questions last night. She was kind enough to allow me to test the questions last night with her. And yeah, we went through them real quick. And they're pretty good questions. You guys will enjoy the trivia today. It's just we got to get it going, get it started. Who knows what the acronym ROLE means in Jerome's book, Role Player? What does the ROLE stand for? Kareem, if you want to put in some more funny answers, that's perfectly fine. It helps me kind of, talk through the point to get to it, Yeah. Adriana's saying only if you know the book. You can find this book online. People can find it and then find the answer to this. Listen, these Raptor freaks have been good at looking for Google answers very fast in the past. So this is what we're doing right now. I'm going to push it up a little higher so it's not right on my face. Okay, looks like Kareem has got it. He got relentless opportunist, leveraging everything. That's exactly right. Kareem Thomas is going to get it. That's what Jerome was. He was a relentless opportunist who leveraged everything, meaning he leveraged being an NBA star, being famous, being a guy who was goofy looking, who looked like a dog, who barked a lot. He leveraged all that stuff into amazing things happening for him. Let's see. I want to hear some more of the other ones. Read once and learn everything. I love that. I love Randolph's. Read once and learn everything. And Isaac's saying ready online lights everywhere. That's pretty good. I like that too. And claps from Fiercey to Kareem. Good job. You guessed. No Google. Some won't believe me. All right. You're being funny. You're being funny, man. Relentless opportunist leveraging everything. Okay, Kareem. Sure. Okay, right. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, man, this guy's funny. All right, next question. Let's move on. How many kids does Jerome Williams have? How many children does him and his wife, Nicolette, have in their family? How many kids does he have? Yeah. How many kids does a JYD have in his family business? That's right. This new show is just like that. Yeah, Kareem's on it today. Kareem gonna come get the questions today. He has 4 children, And well, I'd like to know their names, y'all. If y'all could give me the names of Jerome Williams' 4 children, that would be great. They're very public because they're part of his TV show, and the names are not hidden to protect the innocent children of the player. He really wants to put them on blast. So let's get their names out here now. Isaac Campbell, thanks for playing. I like to see you're in there. Number 2. Wow, it's changing fast. Isaac number 2 and Fiercey number 2. How's that happen? There's 2 number 2s. That's cool. I like it. All right. What are their names? And if you want, I'll give you all guesses if you can't figure it out. But just guess. Why don't you just guess? What do you think their names are? He has 3 daughters and one son. 3 daughters and 1 son. Jeromette and Jerome Jr. I love that. That's creative. That is brilliant, but it's wrong. It's wrong. But you know what I will say? 3 of the names are like J kind of names, like J or G names. 3 of the children's names are kind of G, J kind of sounding names. Kayla's an interesting one. No, it's not Kayla. Randolph, make sure you're live. Hit that live button in the corner because we are on the next part of it. Janiqua. No, there's no Janiqua. I can tell Fiercey's really trying to take this without cheating, which I like that. Julia Williams, Isaac. That's probably pretty good, but that's not right. How about we do this? Jeanette, that's a good one too. All right. His oldest daughter's first name is the same name as referee Mitchell for the NBA. If you know which referee has the last name Mitchell, her first name is the name of his oldest daughter. So do you remember which referee in the ref report is named Mitchell? That is the name of the oldest daughter of Jerome Williams. So what is the referee that I've done in the ref report? We had her a few times last year. Her name is blank Mitchell. And there you go. Kareem remembers her. Cherie. Cherie is the oldest daughter of Jerome Williams. So Cherie, Kareem's on it. He's perfect so far today. He's got all the questions answered so far. Sheree Mitchell is the referee. So Sheree, Kareem's going in there. He's coming in. Giselle is actually one of the names too. Giselle is one of the names. Kareem's going to get him. It looks like he got the son's name too. The son's name is Jeremiah. Boom goes the dynamite. Kareem is going for a perfect day, it looks like. This guy wants to get all the questions. You're guessing all of these. Amazing. It's like you're Kreskin. You're pulling this shit all out of thin air? How? There's one more name. You call her Gabby. We'll take Gabby. Her name is Gabrielle, but he put the name Gabby down. Yeah, Gabrielle. All right, Kareem, clean sleep. That's like 500 points for you just on that one question because you got all 4 names, and it like Fiercey's like on to you. Yeah, right. All right, here we go. Next question. This one may not be as easy to find. What is Jeremiah Williams, the son of Jerome Williams? What is his nickname according to the new television show Family Business? If you watch the Family Business first episode on Sunday, you'll see Jeremiah Williams with a nickname in quotes underneath his name. What is the nickname that they're calling Jeremiah? Yeah. Good morning, UC. Good morning, Raptor Gang. Cannot believe it's already August. I know. It's already August. And oh my gosh, it'll be September and it'll be October soon, and we'll be in training camp soon. Woo! I can't wait. Jerry. You think the nickname of his son is Jerry? Jeremiah goes to Jerry. That's a good guess, Isaac, but it's not right. Jay? No. Think about this. It's a nickname. It's a nickname like JYD has. So it's not really a nickname off his name. It's a nickname like the Junkyard Dog is his father's nickname. Yeah. Oh, look at me. I'm on blast. I like it. Jerry. So Kareem didn't see Isaac put Jerry in already, but he doubled down. He put it in there anyway. Jerry's there. JM. No, like I said, this is maybe a nickname like Junkyard Dog. You know, let's think about it. It's one of these kind of nicknames for him. It's not a name nickname. It's like in some ways it's based off his father's nickname. If that helps at all. If that helps at all. Let's say maybe his nickname is something that Patrick Beverly comments about on our team, said something about our team. And well, our team went and got a whole bunch of these guys now. And now we've got a whole pound of them, let's just say. Yeah, he's not the Junkyard Dog because his dad's the Junkyard Dog. J-Dog's pretty good. And that's probably, I'll give you that. I'm going to give you that. J-Dog is a good guess. And that's it. We'll say that. His nickname is just Dog. The father is Junkyard Dog. And Jeremiah Dog Williams is the nickname of his son. So the nickname is Dog. So Isaac will get it. J-Dog is perfectly acceptable because I'm sure his father has called him J-Dog at some point. J-Dog, get over there and shoot some more shots. No more clangers, more swishes. Go on now, J-Dog. I'm sure JYD, he's called him J-Dog. Hustler. He's calling him the Hustler. Barclay, Dog Pound. No dogs. No, he's Dog. Jerome, Jeremiah Dog Williams. That's his nickname. Puppy Face. That's cute, Fiercey. That's cute. I think that was the emoticon Isaac was using earlier at the beginning of this chat. Puppy face. Yeah, Isaac has puppy face. Yeah. Barky. That's good. I like that, Barky. His nickname is Barky. Jeremiah Barky Williams. If Jerome watches this, he'd probably get a kick out of this. This is fun. All right, next question, guys. Question number 4. Chihuahua? Oh, that's mean. Come on now. All right, question number 4 on the JYD role player / family business trivia. What ESPN writer wrote the foreword for Jerome Williams' book, Role Player? What ESPN writer wrote the foreword for the JYD's new book this year, The Role Player, Relentless Opportunist, Leveraging Everything? Who wrote the beginning? Tim Bontemps. No, fuck that guy. You think that guy's cool enough to write the foreword for JYD's book? Michelle Obama. I love that. She's not an ESPN writer, or is she? Maybe she is. And that's why Stephen A. Smith's all messed up and mad because his boss is like, whoa, Michelle, I'm sure she could be his boss. She probably should be his boss. He would probably be more in line with what he's doing with his job if Michelle Obama was his boss. Yeah, Tim Bontemps is the best guess so far, but this is wrong. This is a longtime writer that has been around the NBA for a long time, and he writes primarily these days for Golden State Warriors. He has written in the past for Detroit also, Detroit Pistons. The reason why he wrote the foreword for JYD's book is because early in JYD's basketball career, this guy was actually trying to play in the NBA too. And he was at a pickup game against Jerome, and he met him that way. They were actually playing ball together before this guy went into his career beyond basketball because he wasn't going to play basketball. And Jerome beat him. He kicked his ass. And at that moment, he was like, that guy's going to be really good in the NBA, and I'm going to cover him in the NBA someday. Yeah, Brian Winders is hilarious that you said that. That's hilarious. Stephen A. Smith, that's the best guess so far. Let's just put it that way. That's the best guess so far, but it's not Stephen A. It's not Stephen A. We've got to think about the timeline. Jerome, when was he before Georgetown? This is before he was on Georgetown. So we're talking about in the 90s. This ESPN writer was around his age in the 90s. So this guy's a little bit up there and been around for a bit. I'll say that this guy breaks news sometimes. You may see his name then like has reported that Steph Curry has signed a new extension with the Golden State Warriors, shit like that. You may see his name involved in that kind of stuff. I will also say that he has the same first name as Mr. Cooper from Hanging with Mr. Cooper. What was that character and actor's name? You'll get his first name. Mark Spears is right. Mark Spears wrote the foreword for Jerome Williams' book. And I think that Hanging with Mr. Cooper may have gotten it for Neil. Blackhawk coming in and getting the answer. Mark Spears wrote the foreword to the book. Boom goes the dynamite. Good job, Neil. Good job. That's right. If Mo was here, she would have got that because she's read this book. All right. I said this. I said this the other day, so you don't have to have read the book for this answer. So let's see who has paid attention. You have a lot of respect for Mark Spears. Yeah, he's a good writer. He's been around for a long, long time. And Golden State was the clue that got you, huh? Okay, cool. Yeah, so you do associate with him covering the Golden State Warriors. Very, very good. Yeah, I'm impressed, Neil. I'm impressed. That's good work right there. That's good work. Fiercey's clapping too. All right, here we go. Next question. What two players in NBA history are credited with granting Jerome the nickname of the Junkyard Dog? I said this the other day on the stream. If you're paying attention, you can name these two players. They were playing on the Pistons with him when he came in as a rookie, and they nicknamed him Junkyard Dog in his rookie year on the Detroit Pistons. They were vets. Who were the two vets that named him the Junkyard Dog? He gives them all the credit in the world. Othello Harrington was a teammate at Georgetown. He was not the guy. Joe Dumars is a great guess because he was a teammate of Jerome's his last year in the Detroit Pistons. He was just about to retire, but he was not the one who gave him the nickname. Richard Hamilton is another Piston, but he's a little bit later than Jerome on that team. Isaiah Thomas is an interesting guess. It's not exactly right. Wallace, you mean with Gromit? Or are you talking about Rashid or Ben? Oh, come on, you got to give me more than that. You're half-assing Blackhawk. Wallace and Gromit? I don't know. John Sally is a good guess. In fact, John Sally is a guess that's the closest. This one of the players on this is a bad boy Piston that gave him the nickname, but it's not John Sally. It's not John Sally. I did say it the other day. Ben Wallace. No, it's not Ben Wallace. It's none of the champion Pistons from that era because Jerome was not on that team. Grant Hill is a great guess, Dan Rosario. Good morning to you, sir. It's not Grant Hill. But one of the players has the first name Grant. So one of the answers is Grant so-and-so. And then the other one is the bad boy Piston. Oh, Randolph has got it, but I want the full name, Randolph. You better write his first name in right away because you know the rules. You got to write full names. Because you got it. And remember, the other guy has the first name of Grant. So that's it. It's not John Sally. It's not Jerry Stackhouse. It's not Rasheed Wallace. It's not Jim Mahorn. It's Rick Mahorn. And unfortunately, I want a ruling from Adriana. Adriana, I would normally penalize a player for not putting their first name in of the team and not give the points to Randolph. But Randolph does not play trivia very often. And in some ways, Fiercey would get it otherwise because she's just ahead of Blackhawk. Rick Mahorn named Jerome Williams the Junkyard Dog. And what do you want me to do, Adriana? Should I give it to Randolph at half point maybe because he got half right and then give 100 to the person who got it first? You want me to do that or you want me to just give it all to them? Because in some ways, like I said, Randolph doesn't answer a whole lot, and he's right. He got it first. It's just he didn't follow our rule of full name answer, which is Mahorn's really the only Mahorn in Mahorn history, in NBA history. Sure, sounds fair. So you want 50 for Randolph and then 100 for Fiercey because she got the rest of it. Yeah, all right. So Randolph Phillips, 50. Actually, I'm just going to give them 100 each. They'll both get it. Fiercey, you're going to get it also. Because you got there first. Okay, thank you, Adriana. I appreciate your ruling. Now, who's the other player that named JYD Junkyard Dog? His first name is Grant. We know that. His first name is Grant, not Jeremy Grant. His first name is Grant. Dennis Rodman's a great guess, but it's not right. It's not right. We said this the other day. This is a classic card name that if you know classic card players, where are classic Grants in the league around that time that may have been on the Pistons? Let's just say, how should I put this clue in? Let's say that his last name is the same as the missing name in this place. Blank and McQuaid. Blank and McQuaid. Not Grant Williams. He's too recent and he's a punk. It's not Grant Williams, though. Blank and McQuaid. Grant Long. That's right, Isaac. Grant Long is the right answer. He is the other person who named JYD. Yeah, Grant Long. I see you just before Roger Raymond. Good to see you, Roger Raymond. Thank you for supporting this channel. And I love the rabbit picture you got. It's awesome. Grant Long is right. Grant Long, Rick Mahorn named the Junkyard Dog the Junkyard Dog. That's the answer. All right, guys. Next question. Question number 6. What NBA legend told Jerome Williams in high school, "I'll see you in the NBA"? What NBA legend? He played one-on-one against him just on a lark. And he did good against this legend. And then afterwards, and Jerome was in high school. He hadn't even gone to Georgetown yet. The legend turned around and said to Jerome, "I'll see you in the NBA." And this was like way before any chance he was going to be in the NBA. But this legend knew he was going to be in the NBA. And he was in the NBA. So what legend played one-on-one with Jerome Williams when he was in high school? And he played very good against him. It was actually amazing how well he did against him. Kevin Garnett and Patrick Ewing are great guesses. They're both wrong. You got to remember, Kevin Garnett was the same age as Jerome. He was not a legend at that time. They came in the same time, around the same time. Magic Johnson's a good guess, but it's not right. It's going in the right direction. Magic Johnson's the closest guess so far. It's a player of his level, and it's a player that was around his time at his stature. So, yeah, you guys are on the right track with Magic. Patrick Ewing's a little too contemporary. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is another good guess. It's wrong. Larry Bird is another good guess. It's wrong. Michael Jordan is another guess. It's wrong. Kareem Olajuwon. Okay, that is weird. It's not Akeem Olajuwon. That's not exactly. We got to go a little bit earlier than Magic and Larry, and a little bit more contemporary with Kareem to get this legend. So you guys are close. This is the guy you're missing out of that little group that's very, very famous around that time. It's one of the biggest legends of the NBA from the 70s into the 80s. Yeah. You guys will know it. When you hear it, you'll be like, oh, yeah, of course. Clyde Drexler is too contemporary to him. It's not Clyde, but a Clyde kind of player. You guys are on the right track. This guy's a dunker, just like Drexler. John Paxson's not right. He's not a legend. Dominique Wilkins is not right either. That's a pretty good guess. This player is very similar to Dominique Wilkins. Played the same position as Dominique, and he's like that. Let's just say he's in the top 5 of all greatest dunkers, along with Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan and Vince Carter. This legend is in the top 5 all-time greatest dunkers. That will tell you something right there. Don Reed. I remember Don Reed. Played for Detroit Pistons. No, he's not a legend. Come on now, Trevor. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain? No. This guy's a forward. He's one of the top 5 dunkers ever. There you go. Fiercey got it. Moses Malone is another good guess. Julius Erving is the right answer. Fiercey's going to get it. Dr. J played one-on-one with Jerome in high school. Dr. J had been retired, and Jerome was holding his own against Julius, and Julius turned around and said, I'll see you in the NBA, young man. And he got there. Yeah. Dr. J is the right answer. Good job. You guys will get there. I'll get you there somehow, some way. That's right. Sean Kemp. What? No, he's a contemporary. Allen Iverson, contemporary. All right, here we go. Next question. Name 3 future Hall of Famers that were drafted in the draft the year Jerome Williams was drafted, ahead of him. 3 of the biggest legends, MVP, future Hall of Famers in that draft ahead of him, including the number 1 pick, the 13th pick, and there's another pick in there that's very important to our country here. So if you can name the 3 legends that were drafted the same year as Jerome, that'd be great. Kobe Bryant is one of them. Isaac got it from the 13th pick, obviously. Kobe was the 13th pick the year he was drafted. Isaac got Steve Nash. He was in that draft also, and one of the answers. And the number 1 pick in that year was, and you'll get the other answer there. Steve Nash, you're just behind him, Roger. Adriana, is that right? That Isaac's got Steve Nash just before Roger Raymond on my screen. So the number 1 pick in that draft, Kareem Thomas has got it. It was Allen Iverson. So he circled around and got that. So the 3 legends in the draft ahead of Jerome, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, and Kobe Bryant. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Adriana. There you go. No Alonzo Mourning. Ray Allen was in there too. Ray Allen was in this draft, but I didn't include him with this tier of excellence. And Kobe, Allen, and Steve Nash. Those 3 right there. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. What NBA super agent did Jerome Williams spurn and reject as his agent before the draft, and he regrets it because he feels like he dropped like 12 or 13 places in the draft because he didn't hire this super agent at this time? Rich Paul? No, Rich Paul wasn't in the business at this time. We've got to remember, this is the late 90s, and this is an old question. Peja Stojakovic. What's going on here? No, I don't remember him being an agent. You might need to hit live. That's right. Marcus Camby was in that draft also. That was our draft pick at number 2. And that draft Michelle Obama. That's just an answer here and there today. Michelle Obama was an NBA super agent in the late 90s, and she was the one who represented Michael Jordan, which is the answer to this question. Who was the agent of Michael Jordan is the other part of this question. It's the same guy that was wanting to work with Jerome. Jerome said, I want to save money. I don't want to hire you. You're too expensive. And then he dropped like 13 spots in the draft. If he had hired Michael's agent, he would have been fine. If y'all know who Michael Jordan's very famous agent was for his career, you're going to get this answer. But if you don't, you don't. Long John Silver, yo ho ho ho, Pirates like for me. Barack Obama, man, where are you going with this? David Falk, that is right. Fiercey's got it. David Falk is the first ever super agent in the NBA's history. He was the agent of Michael Jordan, and he got Michael Jordan a lot of the endorsement deals and amazing things that happened to him. So he wanted to represent Jerome, but Jerome rejected him and didn't go with him. And he really feels like that was a fuck up. Really, really. Arm Tellum's another one. Good guess, Reggie. Arm Tellum is from back in there too. But yeah, it's David Falk. It's David Falk for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Falk was the big agent at that time. Arm Tellum was up there though. Yeah. Seymour's laughing. There you go. And I see the money. The money is flying around with Fiercey there. All right. We got halfway through. Let's go. All right. Next question. If you watched the Family Business first episode on Sunday dropping, Jerome Williams' brand new documentary on Players TV. I hope you watched it. It's about a half hour. It's fantastic. I got a question for you about it. What city did JYD and his son Jeremiah go to engage in activism? They went to the streets in the first episode and they took up signs. And JYD talked about how important it is to engage in what's going on. Isaac's going to say Chicago. He's right. They went to Chicago, Illinois, and they walked with people that were against violence in the inner city. And they wanted to put a blast on community activism and connection to snuff out the dark places where violence can happen in the city. So, yeah, that's exactly right. Y'all check out this episode. It's really good. Yeah. Yeah, Seymour saying good luck with that. So Isaac saying, see, I can guess too, Kareem. No, you probably watched it. You probably watched that episode. So that's how you know. All right, guys, this is a 3-part answer. You can get 300 points for this answer. So be ready. All right, guys, the very famous story of Jerome getting traded to the Toronto Raptors from the Detroit Pistons. He drove from Detroit straight to Toronto. Everybody knows that story. He was at practice the next day. Everybody loves that story. Well, his beloved vehicle that he drove from Detroit to Toronto, what is the year, make, and model of the custom vehicle, the Jerome's prized car that he drove from Detroit to Toronto? I want to know the year, the make, and the model of what was going on there. Yeah, Viva Las Vegas. What? Isaac, I was guessing though. That's right. It was a pickup. Yeah, it was a pickup. You're right. But I want a year, a make, and a model. Pickup, not Kia Sophia. What? We got to think about this is the 90s. Remember, Buick Chrysler 95. Okay, the year is too recent. It's older than that, and neither one of those is right. If you get the model, which Adriana got, so this is the question she got off the top of her head. Ford 92 Ford? No, it's not a Ford. Dodge Ram? No. What's a Kia Sophia? I don't know. Is it named after the old lady on Golden Girls? I don't know. What's a Kia Sophia? Where's Dorothy and Blanche and Rose? I don't know, but I know where Sophia is. It's on this chat. That's right. I know where Sophia is. All right. The year is before 92, guys. You got to remember, this is a car he had for a while. And you got to remember, JYD's older, guys. We're not talking about recent stuff. This might as well be classic Jurassic Tuesday trivia in some ways. Yeah. Let's see. 89. It's got to be a Ford. It's not a Ford. He didn't drive a Ford. 89 is the right year, Fiercey. So, Fiercey, you're going to get the right year. It was a 1989 car. So, Fiercey got the car year. Now we need the make and the model. What kind of car was it, guys? What kind of truck was it? Custom truck, 1989 version. Toyota Tundra. Chevrolet, you can get that one. Chevrolet, it was a Chevrolet. So she got the make. Now, what's the model? What kind of Chevy was it? A 1989 Chevy what? Yeah. Lincoln Continental convertible. No, we know it was a truck. Chevy Jimmy, Chevy Tahoe, Chevy convertible. No. Let's just say that the last part of this answer is something that Alvin Williams was at one point in his life. Ooh, we're going to put Boogie Williams into this for a second. Yeah, the other part of this answer is a descriptor for Alvin Williams at one point in his life. Chevy Chase. I love that. That's hilarious. I love him, even though he's a jerk in real life. Silverado. Chevy Silverado. That's old school right there. Wow. Chevy Silverado. Chevy God. Chevy God. What is that? That sounds like a crazy vehicle. Think about this. The answer is Alvin Williams was one of these at one point in his life. Alvin Williams, our beloved, second to none, Chevrolet Blazer, baby. That's right. Seymour Pate got it. You got the last part. It was a 1989 custom Chevrolet Blazer, Chevy Blazer. Boom goes the dynamite. Seymour's right ahead of you, Dan, unfortunately. But yeah, Seymour got it. It was a Blazer. And of course, Alvin Williams was a Blazer at one point. He was a Blazer before he came to the Raptors. So yeah, there you go, Seymour. Good job. Chevy Blazer. Yeah, that's what JYD was riding, an 89 Chevrolet Blazer when he drove from Detroit to Toronto after he got traded immediately. And he was so happy. He loved that. He loves that car too. Like that car is probably one of his favorite car in his entire life is that custom 89 Chevy Blazer he used to have. He loves it, man. He talks about it in the book. He does. All right. Question 11. What Canadian company was JYD's first corporate endorsement deal? What Canadian company gave him his first endorsement deal here in Canada and put him on blast in commercial for the first time out of any of them? Bell? That's a good guess, but it's wrong. The color that Bell is a color that's shared for this one. Waste Management. That's hilarious. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And Seymour saying this Chevy Blazer still run today. Yeah, if you keep it in good shape, man, you'd be surprised. Canadian Tire. It's a good guess. Let's say it is a big store, but they don't sell Canadian Tire stuff. This is a Canadian store that has an association with the color blue. I don't know if that would help you because Bell's color is blue. I want to say from the Bell guess, this is a company that shares the same, not the same exact tint of blue, but they do have that. Home Hardware. He was with Home Hardware as his first endorsement ever. He didn't have any endorsements in the States. That's why he loved the Raptors so much because he was becoming a Canadian celebrity across the country. And he had endorsements rolling in. Walmart is not right. This is a Canadian company, guys. And we know the straight goods on Canadian goods. This is a company that is based in Canada and is a Canadian company. Gave him his first endorsement. Goodyear is not right. Shaw Cable is not right. Sears is not right. Rona is not right. Sears is a good guess. Not really. Hudson Bay. No, that's not right. The Blue Man Group. Well, the blue of the Blue Man Group's close to the blue of this very famous Canadian company that has stores still to this day around our country. I may have done the straight goods on it before. If I was talking straight goods on books, maybe we get this. I don't know. Straight goods on Canadian goods. When we talk about books, what would that company be? That's right. Byway, Panini, Indigo. That's right. Indigo Books is the first company that hired Jerome Williams to be a corporate spokesperson. So yeah, Indigo Books is right. And Fiercey got in there first. Roger, you're just behind a little bit. Cole's Books. That's pretty good. Cole's Books is a good answer because that's another Canadian book company. But it's Indigo. Indigo hired him first. And I think that it was because of the tie-in with him and his brother Johnny's work with literacy that he started working with Indigo right away. Of course, shortly after getting Indigo and being around the Raptors, he got endorsement deals with Sprite. He got endorsement deals with other big Canadian companies also across Canada. So yeah, Indigo Books is the answer. All right, next question, guys. And I kind of gave the answer the other day. Yeah, no GoDaddy. There was no GoDaddy back then. There was no internet. We've got to remember, this is the late 90s, early 2000s. And the internet didn't really take off until a little bit into the 2000s. You know, people weren't really on there doing GoDaddy and stuff like that. All right, next question. Which former Raptor demanded the trade that led to JYD having to be traded to the Bulls? I said this the other day. Which former Raptor demanded a trade, and because of that trade demand, JYD found his way out of Toronto, and he did not like that. And it does seem like he may have a little bit of a grudge towards this person for this. Chauncey Billups is not right. We talked about this the other day because he explicitly says this in his book. Not exactly, but he basically tells everybody. Yeah, Dan Rosario is getting this one. It is Antonio Davis. Antonio Davis was sick of being in Toronto at a certain point, demanded a trade to Chicago, and the Chicago Bulls would not do the trade without Jerome Williams involved. So he had to go to Chicago with Antonio, and that's when we got Jalen Rose from the Bulls. I think we even got Donyell Marshall in that deal too. So that's when we ended up switching from Antonio Davis, Jerome Williams to Jalen Rose, Donyell Marshall era coming in after that. Tracy McGrady's not right, Isaac. Tracy McGrady's not right. Jerome talks about Tracy McGrady in his book. I don't know if you guys remember this. The longtime Raptor fans that are here that were watching around that time, there was a period of time where Tracy went to Orlando, right, after he was with us, and he started blowing up, and he was killing us. And there was a game in Toronto where we were playing Orlando, and he was relishing in the booze. We were absolutely kicking his ass. I mean, he was kicking our ass. We were booing him. He was kicking our ass, and Jerome was trying to stop him. He couldn't stop him. He had to guard Tracy. That was his job, and he felt so bad. Because he absolutely failed at stopping Tracy McGrady in the Orlando jersey, coming back to Air Canada Center and kicking the Raptors' ass. He felt so bad. He wrote about this in the book. He circled a date on his calendar, and it was the next time they play the Magic, and it would be in Orlando this time. And this is actually an epic game. And Raptors admin, if you do listen to me, go find this game and put this, give this the treatment that you've been doing lately, because this is a good early game that you could find. Jerome Williams game where he led the Raptors over Tracy McGrady and the Orlando Magic in Orlando, and he scored like 40 points. Like, seriously. JYD went off. He had a receipt for Tracy. Tracy came to Toronto, kicked our ass, and everybody's mad. So JYD kept the receipt and went down to Orlando and kicked his ass back on the Magic's home court and helped the Raptors win that game. So, yeah, that's an interesting story. In some ways, he didn't ever play with Tracy because he showed up after Tracy was gone for the Raptors, and he only knew Tracy from Orlando and him coming back and being a villain. And in some ways, JYD was not a fan of Tracy McGrady. Let's just say that. He wanted to take him personally down defensively. Yeah. Antonio Davis is the right answer, Trevor J. Good job. Good job. All right, let's keep going. Next question. When Jerome was traded to the Bulls from the Raptors, John Paxson was the GM of the Bulls. And he brought Jerome into his office and he said, I need you to mentor these two rookies. What are the two rookies that John Paxson asked Jerome to teach in their rookie year when they were on the Bulls? Who were the two players? I mentioned this on the stream on Sunday. If you were listening, you can maybe get them because you remember. But there were two young Bulls at that time that Jerome Williams was tasked with being the mentor, the Garrett Temple to them in their rookie years. What were those two young Bull rookies that JYD was tasked with being their vet and teaching them? Tyson Chandler's right. Dan Rosario was paying attention. Tyson Chandler is one of them. Can you remember who the other one was and who came in with Tyson on the Bulls at that time? Derrick Rose is not right. Taj Gibson is not right. Jerry Cross. I love that. That's hilarious. You're trying to be funny, Trevor, right? Eddie Curry. Dan knows. Dan was paying attention, and he got it. Dan Rosario, good job, man. Yeah, it was Eddie Curry and Tyson Chandler were the two Chicago Bulls rookies that Jerome Williams was their vet, and he looked out for them. Blackhawk, man, went too soon. Zach LaVine still plays in this league. We're talking about over 25 years ago is what we're talking about in this league right now. We've got to get in the right time frame. Yeah, Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler. That was the answer. Good job. Dan Rosario getting the last three answers. Really, really good job. All right, here we go. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I do. It's hilarious. JYD, after his playing career was over, actually had a reality show, and it was like Pimp My Ride. He basically was taking people's cars and redoing them and pimping them out, just like Pimp My Ride show with Exhibit, right? So he had one of his early episodes where he took a vehicle from a famous R&B star and pimped their ride. What R&B star appeared on JYD's reality show when he was pimping people's cars rides out, just like that Pimp My Ride show that used to be on MTV? Who was the R&B star that he had in one of his early episodes? R.Kelly? That's a good guess. It's not right. This R&B star was very young at this time. In fact, he was just barely able to drive at this time. It's kind of interesting. Master P is not right. Mike, good to see you, Logical Raptors fanatic. Good to see you, man. Usher. Usher's the best guess so far. Usher. This guy's the most like Usher, but he's younger than Usher for sure. I'll be sure. Nah, it's not. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not I'll be sure. I remember the show The Junkie Funny. The Junkie Funny. What? Ray J. Ray J is not right. That's a good guess. This guy's similar to Ray J and Usher. John Legend is not right. Heavy D from Heavy D and the Boys. I love that you just brought up Heavy D. He's like, I'm telling Neil, go way back. He's going to get Heavy D. This is awesome. Usher, Tyrese. No, it's Chris Brown. Fiercely got it. It is Chris Brown. Chris Brown was like 16 years old or something when he appeared on JYD's Pimp My Ride show, like way back, like about 15, 20 years ago. So yeah, Chris Brown is the answer. Fiercely Sarah got it. Yeah, it's Chris Brown. He pimped one of Chris Brown's cars for him and his family in that show. If you probably dig up that episode, I think it was called like Hot Ticket or something. I forget what the name of the show was exactly. But JYD had one of those kind of shows for a while. I see all these great names here. Mario, Marion, Outkast, Ashanti, Marquise Houston, Wyclef Jean, Mary J. Blige. Yeah, none of that. We got it. Chris Brown was the answer. That's right. All right, next question, guys. We got 3 more questions and we'd be out. What Hall of Fame coach coached Jerome Williams on 2 different NBA teams in his career? What Hall of Fame coach ended up coaching Jerome on 2 different teams that he played for in his NBA career? He was in the NBA for 9 years. He played for 4 teams. One coach coached him in 2 different places. What coach was that coached him in 2 different places? Mike got it. It's Lenny Wilkins. That's right, Mike. Lenny Wilkins, of course, coached him in Toronto. And then he got to coach him in New York after that. When Isaiah went to New York, he hired Lenny to be the head coach. And Isaiah was the team president of the Knicks at that time. And Jerome worked with Lenny Wilkins, both in Toronto and in New York City on the Knicks. So, Mike, good job. Good figure out right there. David Thompson? Are we still guessing dunkers? All right, next question. There's 2 more questions and we're done. All right, next question. This is an interesting one. Who does Jerome Williams give an assist credit to in the back of his book and the acknowledgments for helping him meet his wife? Basically, this NBA player gave the phone number of his future wife, Nicolette. And without this NBA player, Jerome doesn't get married to Nicolette. He doesn't get her phone number. So what former NBA player was a teammate of Jerome Williams helped him meet his wife that eventually became the mother of his 4 children and still his wife to this day? He gave credit to that person in the back of the book. Give me a couple of guesses and I'll give you kind of clues. This could be a little bit like the classic card and trying to figure it out. Yeah, so give me a couple of guesses. Who do you think helped him find his wife? Jerry Stackhouse, Isaac? That's not the right answer for this question. But yeah, Jerry Stackhouse is a good guess. That was the right time period and that he was on the team. So this is a very plausible answer, but it wasn't him. It wasn't him that gave the number to JYD to meet his wife, Nicolette. No, it wasn't Jerry. It wasn't Jerry. It's in the back. Muggsy Bogues. That's an interesting guess, Mike. Muggsy was not on the team with him in Detroit. Charles Oakley is not right either. It was a Piston, a player who played with him in his rookie year on the Pistons. Lindsey Hunter is a fantastic guess by Isaac Campbell. Former Raptor Lindsey Hunter is involved in Jerome's life. And you know what he said about Lindsey Hunter? He said that Lindsey Hunter was one of the people that he prayed with. He's very religious. And Lindsey Hunter was somebody he prayed with. Joe Dumars is a good guess. It's not right. Let's just say this. This former Detroit Piston, the answer is somebody that Leo Routens loves the hell out of. And we know why Leo likes certain players around the league, right? Leo Routens. Think about that. And also, this player was a number 1 pick in the draft, the answer to this question. So there's a little puzzle for you right there. You can figure out from those 2 clues. Rochelle Wallace? You mean Rasheed Wallace? No, it's not Rasheed Wallace. Think about who would Leo Routens love. Well, what kind of players does he like in the league? For what reason? And this player was also the number 1 pick in the draft. The answer to this question, the year he came out in the draft. So yeah, who gave the phone number to JYD so he could meet his wife, Nicolette? Yeah. And he was on the Pistons at that time. And he's a favorite of Leo Routens for a certain reason. And he was a number 1 pick in the draft. Who would it be? Akeem? Nah, no half-assing, no half names, even though Akeem is a pretty known one name. We've got to still put in the Olajuwon if you want the full credit, Mike. So practice good habits. No, it's not Olajuwon. Olajuwon was never, ever on the Pistons. Joe Smith is an interesting guess, and that's not right. That's not right. Joe Smith It's not. Oh, Isaac, you're ashamed you took it away. Let's think about this. What is Leo Routen's connection to liking players? Like, he may talk about these players in glowing ways for one specific reason. That's right. Ed O'Bannon went to UCLA. That's not the school I'm thinking about. Oh, did I just give it away? Ed O'Bannon is not right. It's not Ed O'Bannon. What school does Leo care about? And who would that be? Jerry Stackhouse is a good guess. Trevor, it's not right. It's not right. Somebody already guessed Jerry Stackhouse here. Jerry Stackhouse is a Tar Heel from Dean Smith. And that's not what we're talking about here. Why would Leo like a player if I'm talking college? Chauncey Billups is not right. It's a good guess by Roger Raymond. Chauncey is mentioned by Jerome in the book as somebody that was influential on him. Derek Coleman's right. Isaac figured it out. Number 1 pick in the draft, Derek Coleman, Syracuse Orangeman. Number 1 pick in the draft, Derek Coleman, Syracuse Orangeman. Isaac did not spell his name correctly, but it doesn't matter. He got the right answer. It is Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman introduced Jerome Williams to his wife by giving him the phone number. So it's Derek Coleman is the right answer. Allen Iverson is a good guess, considering he was a number 1 pick, and he could have been the one who did this, but he wasn't a Piston. That's it right there. Derek Coleman's the right answer. All right, last question of the day, guys, and be ready. Full name answer. Don't mess around with me with this half-ass stuff, all right? Who does JYD thank in the back of his book, in the acknowledgments, once again, for giving rough edges in practice? Another former Piston teammate that he's giving thanks for giving rough edges in practice. In fact, I have a funny story after this when we figure out who this person is. You guys may have already mentioned this name a few times in this trivia to get this last one. Actually, this is kind of a well-known thing about this person, about rough edges at practice. In fact, I'm going to have a story about this in a second. Yeah. Who is it? Who did JYD thank for having rough edges in practice? Yeah, John Sally is not right. Fiercey saying back then it was phone numbers being given. Nowadays, players look up Instagram models. Yeah, that may be right. Joe Dumars? No, it's not Joe Dumars. He doesn't give rough edges. Grant Long is not right. That's a good guess, though, Reggie. Dennis Rodman is not right either. Rick Mahorn is not right. You guys have mentioned this name a few times just recently in the chat. And there is a story. Nayona David? No. Ben Wallace? No. Ben Wallace is after JYD. JYD, I don't think they were on the team together. Lambier? No, it's not Bill Lambier. Half-assing, full ass. Rasheed Wallace is not right. No, but Rasheed Wallace is a good guess. It's closer. Isaiah Thomas was not playing. It was not Isaiah. Jerry Stackhouse is right. Mike got it. Jerry Stackhouse is, let's just say this. Former Raptors 905 champion coach, Jerry Stackhouse has rough edges, so to speak. And basically what it is that he really cares. And sometimes in practice, and I know this story, not just from JYD, like acknowledging him like this is just confirmation that what I've heard in the story is true. One of my friends from down in Florida, JJ, his cousin is Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore played out of Gaffney, South Carolina for the Pistons at this time. He was an NBA player, and he was a cousin of one of my old friends down south. And JJ used to tell me stories from Mikey about Pistons practices. And basically, Jerry Stackhouse would be punching teammates out in the middle of practice all the time. Seriously. So Jerome is alluding to Jerry punching his teammates in the face while he's practicing with them. And I've heard stories about Jerry knocking people out in the middle of practice because he's so angry and fiery. And they were from Mikey Moore. And this is the story here. So yeah, Jerry Stackhouse is the answer, the last answer on here. And there you go. There's the Tuesday trivia. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit more rounded out questions about Jerome Williams. We know more about the vehicle he drove from Detroit to Toronto. We know more. Did you learn things about Jerome today? I hope you did. You learned who gave him his nickname. You learned about his children a little bit. And hopefully you go watch his family business show as it comes out, more and more episodes on that Players TV YouTube channel. I think he doesn't have that many views yet, guys. Like it came out on Sunday, and he's only got 123 views. So somebody go and check out this for JYD. Come on now. I'll actually put the link in the chat right here so y'all can grab it and watch the JYD's new show. We want to support our guy, right? That's right. Great questions. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you like that. So we're saying IG models only respond to pro athletes. Ha ha ha. I don't know. Maybe that's true. I have no idea. Speaking of Instagram models, let's talk about one of the birthdays today. Happy birthday to Chloe Kitts. And she's a basketball player. She's not really Instagram model, but she could be probably. But yeah, it's Colin Marie Boyle's birthday, girlfriend's birthday today, guys. Chloe is 21 today, guys. She's very, very young, born in 2004. Yeah, Chloe Kitts, 21 years old today. DJ Carton also having his birthday today, guys. Happy birthday to former Raptor DJ Carton, who's turning 25 today also. So yeah, Chloe Kitts and DJ Carton, the birthdays for today. Let's go ahead and check out the straight goods on Canadian goods. Today we're talking candles, guys. Yeah, candles. Why not? 100 Years of Love is a Canadian-owned, operated candle company in Toronto. The candles are hand-poured in Canada using Canadian-sourced ingredients. So if you want to buy candles that are 100% Canadian, 10 out of 10 score on the Canada score list, 100 Years of Love is the candles you should go buy so that you can buy some Canadian candles and support Canadian economy. That's right. There you go. Thank you for trivia adjudicator, Adriana. Yeah, she had light work today, but she was helpful. And I appreciate you going over the questions with me. In some ways, that is very important to make sure my questions make sense and they're written correctly so that they can be in the format so that they're actually worth doing. Sometimes we can write questions, they seem like they're good questions, but when you test them, they're like, nah, this isn't going to work, and have to switch them. So she gives me the dress rehearsal. I can call her, and I run the questions over her. She'll answer them. Some of them she'll get. Like yesterday, she wanted to study for it. She actually wanted to know what the book name was because she was going to buy it and read it on a train she was on yesterday and read it. Wow. She wanted to study for the quiz, but apparently there was no Wi-Fi, so she couldn't download the book, but she did good anyways. Mike's saying this. Okay. ESPN dropped the tier list and put the Raptors in a whack tier, all in on nothing. I know I covered this yesterday a little bit. It's lazy, Mike. It's lazy, and it's fine. It's fine. And actually, we've got something to talk about this or something here. He's like, yeah, they put him all in on nothing, shaking my head. I can't wait till these garbage takes are exposed. We have some media people who think the Raps will be good. A lot of people that are paying attention that understand this know, and then a lot of people don't. They're just idiots. Tim Bontemps, Kevin Pelton wrote that article. And in some ways, I feel like what they do with the Raptors is we're lazy. We don't want to actually investigate them. Let's just go ahead and make it sound like they're confusing. That's kind of been what they've been doing for the last 4 years. Is like, I don't understand the Raptors. They don't make any sense. Well, they must suck. That's what we've been getting for analyzation from the experts at ESPN. I don't understand the Raptors because I'm lazy. I don't want to actually go investigate them. So I'm just going to market them as being confusing and not very good, and they're not going anywhere. It's lazy. It's just lazy. It's ESPN writers not doing their job. They should be coming and looking at us. They should be actually putting thought into it, but I don't think they do. I think that it's kind of like they do all the other teams. They write all their write-ups. Oh, we'll write this about Boston. Oh, we'll write this about Indiana. We'll write this about the Lakers. But then when they get to Toronto, after doing so many teams, they're like, I don't know what the Raptors are doing. Just put in, we don't know. They're confusing. And we'll just say, we have no idea what they're doing. Okay. But yeah, they're not putting in work to actually look at us. And we can tell they're half-assing their coverage of us. And that's it right there. Yeah, Smooth saying, yep, called the Raptors the Kings of the East. I know. That is so off base. Like, who the fuck is their Scotty Barnes? Who the fuck is their Brandon Ingram? Who the fuck is their Emmanuel Quickly? Who's their RJ Barrett? Maybe DeMar? I don't know. It seems insulting for them to call us the Kings of the East, but we're not the Kings of the East, and we're going to show them. We'll be the Kings of the East, as in we're the Kings at the top, not the Sacramento Kings. That's the Kings we're going to be, Kings of the East. That's right. Bontemps is terrible. Yeah, he is. He's terrible. He's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And these guys, it's all propaganda, and it's all, in some ways, they probably have a corporate meeting, and they was like, yeah, we have to continue to treat the Raptors this way. And the crazy thing is that we get gaslit by other people saying we think we overvalue our players. Just because ESPN's undervaluing our players and teaching everybody else to undervalue our players doesn't mean us Raptors fans that are watching them closely and actually very much on top of Raptors affairs are wrong. They're more wrong than we are because honestly, this team has a lot of potential. They're young. They have a lot of ability to grow into some amazing things in the next little while. The tier was correct, Mike. They would have put us in the same tier as Atlanta and Orlando, which is a young core growing, which is exactly what we are. But instead, they're saying all in on nothing. Well, you motherfuckers going to find out how in we are in the playoffs near the top. That's what they're going to find out by the end of this. That's right. Scotty commented on this. It's amazing. Scotty actually broke his silence, and he said something. This is on Reddit. I'm going to Raptors Reddit right now. Scotty Barnes posted this on Twitter. He said, Scott Barnes, 561. It's a lot of people on this app that don't watch ball, man. Just be chatting. It's cool. We got a lot to prove this year. Let's get back to the playoffs. That's what Scotty said yesterday at 1:44 in the afternoon on Twitter. He sees the noise. He's seeing what we're seeing, and he sees the disrespect, and he's going to come and change this. And we know this man has this ability to change this, and he's going to. Yeah, he said these people don't know what they're talking about himself, and we're going to change the perception. And that's what we got to do, Scott. I believe in you, and I know you're going to do it. And you're going to put that respect on the Toronto Raptors name around the league by what you, Brandon, RJ, and Emmanuel and Jakob do this year, along with the bench mob. That's right. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. That's right. We're going to see it. Smooth saying it's weird because they praised the Raptors at the deadline getting Brandon Ingram. I know. It's like, I mean, I get it. It's not news anymore. It's been around for like 6 months that we've had Brandon Ingram. It's not news. And there's been a flurry of offseason activity, all kinds of other shiny things happening and movements that the Brandon Ingram one's totally lost on them. They still don't realize that the layaway of Brandon Ingram has not hit the Raptors in hitting the needle push over because we never had him come in that last year. We hadn't even seen him on the court in the Raptors jersey yet. And they don't understand how much the needle will be pushed by Ingram being on the court for the Raptors. Well, they'll find out. They'll find out. And Darko tried to call him out on this earlier this summer. He said, you guys are not giving the Raptors credit for improving their team by getting Brandon Ingram. And he's exactly right. And they're going to find out. If we add on Brandon Ingram, an all-star level talent, a high-level scorer, a clutch scorer, a very capable guy who can do a lot of the heavy lifting things that Kawhi did in the past. And then you add in Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Mobo, Grady Dick, Ochai Agbaji, all these young guys that are hungry. They're going to have to compete. And some people are going to be sitting on the outside looking in because they didn't do well enough. There's going to be so much more competitiveness on the Raptors this year that Darko's going to be licking his chops because he's going to be like, look, these guys, if they want to play for me, they're going to have to be the creme de la creme. They're going to have to be playing at a top level because you know what? If you're not, I've got Mobo over there, and he will come out there and take your minutes if you're not putting in the work. You know, I might want to try Shamshay very soon. So you better get your act together, so-and-so player, because Shamshay may be coming out here and taking a minute soon because I'm going to try him out. They're going to be so hungry. The intensity of the competition just to make the rotation for the Toronto Raptors is going to make the cream rise to the top. And the coaches are astute. They're going to see and pay attention, and they're going to be, this is the guy who deserves it. Colin Murray-Boyles is a rookie, but you know what? He's going all out with his spongy hands, and he's soaking up the ball every which way like Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. And he's you know what? That's just so attractive. When we get this out of him, we'll put him on the court. So the hierarchy of the rotation of the Raptors has to be set and figured out, the pecking order. And these players, they want to get in that pecking order. So they can't sleep on the drive that we're going to build in these young players. Seriously, they can't sleep in it. That's right. They can't sleep in it. That's right. That's right. Let's see what else. Mike's saying we don't copycat much, so they can't see the path we're taking. I don't think it's that. It's just gaslighting, Mike. It's just gaslighting. They'd rather like not give us any credit. This is very mirroring of society. You know, if there's a subjugated person who's maligned and marginalized, and maybe a person of color, maybe a person that's older, maybe a person with a disability, maybe just somebody who's not necessarily taken seriously. In some ways, they won't give them any credit until they're absolutely successful. It's like they won't give them credit until they begrudgingly have to give them credit after the fact because they succeeded. That's how the Raptors championship went. They didn't want to give us any fucking credit until we went and got that Larry Bryant. And then they barely wanted to give us any credit after that. That's just the position we're in. They're not going to give us any credit until we achieve. And then they are forced to give us credit. And that happens to all kinds of people that walk around in society every day that do a good job, don't get any credit for it. Then they finally do it and they force people to finally recognize them. And that's just how it is sometimes. It's not fair. There's always different routes. Some people get a privileged route that they get it handed to them. And in some ways, they don't have to work as hard for it, and they still get the acclaim. Some people have to work 100 times harder than other people. And unfortunately, the Raptors franchise is in that position with the publicity and the way that this league is covered as far as these fuck faces like Tim Bontemps. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Trevor's saying, check out Fred VanVleet TV presents Belize. I haven't been watching Fred too closely since he's been in Rockets, but I should probably check back in with him. I've seen that he's doing more documentary stuff recently. It seems like Fred is living his best life. That's what I want for him. That's what I want for Fred. Always a Raptors legend. Always in my good books up here. That's right. That's right. Fiercely saying, I thought they meant Kings, as in we rule the East. Comparing us to the Sacramento Kings is disrespectful. That's what they did. That's what they did, Fiercely. They compared us to being Sacramento's equivalent in the Eastern Conference, which is absolute horse crap. Absolute horse crap. Totally. If you know what I would say, I'm going to say something controversial right now. Orlando's more likely to be the Sacramento of the East than we are. Yep. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite right there. Mike's saying Hawks got Tingus. That don't sound good. Magic got Max Bane, but the Raps getting Ingram is nothing. Shaking my head. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Orlando's way overhyped right now. Desmond Bane is not that much of a needle pusher. If we're looking at those three players Mike just mentioned, Brandon Ingram's the biggest impact. Kristaps Porzingis is not that much different than Clint Capella. And Desmond Bane is not that much different than Jalen Suggs, except he can score better. But these are not needle pushers like Brandon Ingram is. And these motherfuckers are going to find out this year. Seriously. Wayne saying, morning, Raptor Freaks. Lex, nailed it again. These columnists are just lazy and unprofessional. While growing up in the Caribbean, I learned that half the ignorance exhibited as bias was just laziness. Yeah. This is why it's been hard for women's sports to get coverage correctly. Because in some ways, there was a lot of apathy of wanting to even do it by the mainstream establishment media, so in some ways there needed to be more people that were diverse, maybe more women that were coming in and doing it the justice that it deserves. In the beginning, think about the early days of the WNBA. And in some ways, people were making it a joke in the way they wrote about it because they didn't want to take it seriously. Some of it was misogyny, patriarchy, different ways that, men were threatened by women. Oh, you've got a league. Isn't that cute? That kind of shit was happening in the early WNBA. And to an extent, it still happens to this day that some people in the mainstream media do not take the WNBA seriously. And they're kind of full of shit and assholes about it. So, yeah, this is just part of it, man. This is just part of it. And Wayne, I appreciate your comment. They are lazy. And in some ways, if you don't like something, you don't really want to cover it, you won't put the effort in. Well, it just shows how bad a professional you are, is what I would say. That's what it shows. It doesn't say anything about what you're covering. It says that you're a bad professional that doesn't do your homework. That's what it is. Trevor's saying no one can stop what's about to come, so let them talk. When man said no, God said yes. That's awesome. I mean, that's powerful what he just said, and I love it. I'm going to give Trevor a dunk because, man, he's right. He's right. They can say whatever they want. They ain't going to stop the reality. That's the thing. Reality hits. Reality bites. Reality happens. Love bites. Yeah, Def Leppard. There you go. Let's keep going. Carlos here. Good to see you. Kaloy. Morning, Lex from Raptor Freak family. Good morning to you. Hopefully you and Santino and all the family are doing great. Did y'all see that Scotty tweet? He must have seen all the haters. Yeah, I just went over it like 5 minutes ago and read it to everybody and saying, yeah, y'all don't know ball. He's telling these people they don't want ball. They don't know ball. In some ways, I know Scotty has said this about channels like me, channels like Raptors content makers. Basically, his stance on people like us is I don't mind you guys talking about me and the Raptors as long as you're talking us up and you're not bullshit artists negging us. It's one thing he said. on the Twitch one day. He said, RaptorsFreak, people that do stuff like you, I don't mind y'all if y'all are positive and talking us up. But when y'all talk us down and shit like that, I hate you, is kind of what he said. And he knows that I'm not doing that. If he's investigated my channel, Lloyd's come and watched it. They know that I'm one of the Raptors fan channels that actually is supportive of the team and not toxic by bringing up all kinds of tropes and storylines and bullshit. It's just not helpful and just not useful. And that's the thing. Scotty, like he said, he doesn't mind content creators that make stuff about the Raptors as long as they're giving it a fair shot and they're fair and they're telling the truth. But he said there's a lot of people out there that don't know ball right now, covering the Raptors and writing articles, Amos, and writing out their ass, Raptors rapture, and your bullshit over there. That's right. Mike's saying, I think people see NBA team building in a black or white way. You're competing or tanking for a guy to change things. It's a narrow view to think tanking is needed to build a true contender. I think that a lot of people are not keeping up with how quickly the NBA changes. I think that a lot of people just decide that this is the way it is. Steph Curry's 3-point world, LeBron's this or whatever that. They don't understand the game's constantly evolving. This has happened since the 1946 first season. That every year over time, the NBA evolves. There's rule changes. There's more influx of different talent. There's more teams added, like expansion. There's all kinds of different things that add to things. The salary cap changes things in different ways. And everybody thinks they just have an idea about what the NBA is going to be. No, it's not static, motherfuckers. This shit is evolving every single year. And if you're not up to date and watching, I don't take advice from people that haven't watched basketball closely in 10 years. And I don't take advice from people that have only watched basketball in the last 4 years because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about in any kind of way. The old fan that hasn't watched recently don't know what they're talking about. And the new fan that's barely started watching just recently, you have no context of history to fucking know what you're fucking talking about either. So it's just this league is constantly evolving. And in some ways, Mike is saying we are not cookie cutter. We're not copycat because we're the trendsetters. We are the team that they cheat off of and copy. Vision 6'9" went crazy around the league after Bobby and Masai tried to build Vision 6'9" a few years ago. It was trending all over the place. You saw more and more people trying to get those long arm defenders like the Raptors were having. Well, there's maybe some ways that we're ahead of the curve right now. In fact, on Reddit, let's go look at this. There's a chart, and I want to show you guys real quick that is very interesting. They're showing like a half-court movement chart, and I'll give the link to you guys right now so you guys can see this. And this is part of what we're talking about here, how the Raptors are built different. They're not built like other teams. And this chart will explain visually kind of what we're talking about. So I'll put it in right quick, and you guys just click on that. It's on Reddit. And you can go in there and see it's a half-court movement chart. And you see where the Raptors are. They're down in the bottom corner. And that look, they're saying that we're just running around. Movement impact is low, but we're movement around is going all over the place. Now, in some ways, this is not totally a positive chart in some ways because it seems like we're moving the ball over the place, but we're not getting impact from moving the ball. Well, once things click and things go better, but look, the movement is off the charts. It's just like the Warriors and the Jazz are third. So the movement attack rate is really high with the Raptors. And that's a little bit different than what the other teams in the league are doing right now. Now we'll get more and more success as our team gels and they get more connection, especially with Brandon around right now. And I think that in some ways the Raptors are trendsetters and the reporters are behind is part of it right there. I think that's part of it right there. Yeah. Let's see. Criscom's here. Good to see the great Criscom. Man, I like the SAR kid, but I can't pick him over Brampton's own AJ Lawson. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that there's any way that that's going to happen. Because first of all, AJ Lawson has more a partially guaranteed contract, and Olivier Sarr is on Exhibit 10. And this is the thing. Remember this, Criscom. Olivier Sarr is not Alex Sarr. He did not just enter the NBA. Olivier Sarr has been in the league for like 4 or 5 years already. He's had a bunch of chances in G League, and he hasn't gone anywhere. I kind of went over him yesterday in the last couple of days saying he's at the same level as Moses Brown. He's a barely in the NBA kind of player that's very tall with height, but he's slow and lumbersome. And in some ways, he doesn't have the extra skills that his brother Alex has. So I don't see him making the team. In some ways, it's very likely that Olivier Sarr will be 905 center for us this year. That in some ways, putting him on the Exhibit 10 gives him a direct path to be playing for Luke Wynn out in Mississauga. So that's the take on that. I don't think he's a threat to take the spot from AJ. And Colin Castleton was so washed. In fact, it's weird how Colin Castleton regressed from the regular season to the summer league this year. It was really bad. Colin Castleton had shown a lot of skills in the regular season last year against better talent, to be honest, in the NBA. And it was all gone. In summer league, he regressed. So we lose him, and we brought in the Sarr brother. But let's not get it twisted. AJ Lawson's in a really good position to be making this team. And I'm exactly with you. I think AJ will make it. But Sarr's not going to be fighting him for it. I don't think he's the one that we got to worry about that would take that spot from him. It could be David Roddy, who's around the Raptors right now, that could try and take that spot from AJ Lawson. There could be a mystery man that comes into training camp that we don't know about yet, that will be named later. That could be more of a threat to AJ making that last roster spot too. So we'll have to see. AJ's definitely not totally sure as a Raptor because he's done a lot of commercials recently. And as I said before, he's promoting himself as AJ Lawson, professional basketball player. He doesn't say Toronto Raptor. He doesn't even say NBA player. So he's not totally sure where his place is for the season coming up. We can tell, yeah. Kaloy saying, I love this. I want that fire inside from Mr. Wayne. Yeah. Wayne Strainer ain't no bullshit. He's like, look, don't bullshit me, and let's be straight up, and let's get things done, and let's not waste time. And I like that about Wayne too. I mean, that's a great kind of energy to be around this channel because it's a very passionate, no bullshit kind of fan. And I respect that. I respect that a lot. Chris comes saying some dude made a preview of the year, Pistons fan. He had the Raps closer to the bottom in the East. I told him, you don't know ball. Bet me, laugh out loud. Just excuses on why you can't bet me. Just typical basic dude. I would say this right now. Anybody who's a fan of the Magic, the Hawks, the Bucks, the Pistons, the Sixers, y'all are going to get beat by the Raptors this year. And the Raptors are going to be higher than y'all in the standings. I'm telling you right now, we may even be higher than Knicks by the end of the year too. And some people may say you're crazy for saying that, Lex. Nope. No, I'm not crazy for saying that. There's issues with the Pistons in some ways because they lost some of their veteran leadership going out the window. Malik Beasley's in trouble with the law. Darius Schroeder is a Sacramento King. I think that they also lost Tim Hardaway Jr. He went to Denver. So the older, capable guys that were on the Pistons that were kind of guiding them in the playoffs are gone. The Pistons are not necessarily as astute and playoff ready this year because they lost the very veteran guys that were carrying them in some ways this past year. Dennis is a huge impact on why the Pistons were good last year. I'm telling you right now, and they don't even realize it. Malik Beasley, his expertise in three-point shooting is going to be sorely missed this year. And Tim Hardaway Jr. was one of those solid vet kind of guys. Sure, Tobias Harris is still around, but for the most part, the veteran contingency on the Pistons roster is gone. And you just got a bunch of young guys. And in some ways, I'm not going to say that young guys. Kate Cunningham's a good leader. He seems like he's a good guy. But is he the kind of leader SGA is, where he can lead his team to the promised land just by himself as a very young leader? I don't think so. And I'm telling you, in some ways, these teams that like to shuffle up and deal every summer and change their rosters so much, they fuck up all the time. They make gains and go into the playoffs, and then they lose the gains because they made too many moves in the offseason. And I think the Pistons might be one of these teams, even though they're on the rise and they should be getting better, they may slip a little bit in the playoffs, in the standings this year. And honestly, I would say this, we're going to be better than Milwaukee. We're going to be better than Atlanta. We're going to be better than Orlando. We're going to be better than Detroit. We're going to be better than Philly. I don't know about New York, but we could be. And we could even be better than Boston. I think we might be better than Boston this year, too. Boston's not the big bad wolf this year. In Indiana, they're going below us, too. So what I'm saying is we could be top 4 in the East, and all these people are sleeping, and they don't need to wake up until they see the standings in April. That's what I say right there. That's what I say right there. Kaloy saying, did y'all see the Fox contract? It's goddamn. It's goddamn.
What? 60 million per year. They were bitching about Brandon's extension. Once this Raptors lineup hits top 4, our cap situation will look genius. I think that Kaloy is exactly right. I think that this is crazy. The Spurs fans were kind of trying to figure out whether they'd max out Fox or not. Many of them were saying there's no way we max him out now because we have so many young players that are coming up that we're going to have to take care of, like Victor and people like Dylan Harper being there all of a sudden. Well, they maxed out Fox. They did max him out. And in some ways, they're shocked by it. Some of the Spurs fans are absolutely like, why do we do this? And in some ways, De'Aaron may not mean to be here very soon because of Castle, because of Harper, because of the young players that are coming up with Wemby. Well, they did. And it could be, I don't know, maybe some sort of thing they have to do. Or maybe, I don't know. Some people are saying De'Aaron Fox may not be in San Antonio for very long. This seems like a big investment, is what I'm saying right here. Yeah, it's very weird, man. Mike's saying, laugh out loud. Everyone was praising the OKC culture and how they like each other and share the work and glory. People don't have a clue about what we're building. I heard no one really talk about it in mainstream. They're not paying attention to the chemistry that's derived under Darko's system and his atmosphere. They don't want to admit this. In some ways, it's much better if the Raptors are toxic and have all kinds of problems like the Vince Carter at the end era, stuff like that. That's much easier for them. Oh, they're horrible and they're having all kinds of problems. But the Raptors under Masai built a very healthy ecosystem with non-toxic bullshit happening. And it's been really since Masai came around that the toxicness around our team is just not permitted. It's not. And we've continued to keep that going. The vibes are at all-time high on the Raptors right now as far as team chemistry and what Mike's describing that made Oklahoma City Thunder so successful this year. If there's a couple of teams in this league that have got it like that, Raptors are one of those top teams as far as chemistry and connection. I'm going to tell you right now, the Knicks are not connected in any kind of way. The Sixers are not connected in any kind of way. There's certain teams in this league that have very poor connection, and it's going to show. And it showed late in the playoffs for the Knicks that there's going to be problems. And the Raptors building the right way, all for one for all, unselfishness, all the things they're doing is actually going to be a very, very good thing. The more it matures as this nucleus grows, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I'm excited about it. And Mike sees it, and they're not giving us credit for it. Fiercely saying, rooting for AJ over Sar and Roddy. Yeah, David Roddy. Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for our hometown Brampton native AJ Lawson for sure, too, in this situation, for sure. Let's see. Kaloy saying, I meant Mr. Scotty Wayne Barnes, but I do love feisty Wayne is. Oh, you said you didn't mean Wayne's trainer. You meant Wayne Barnes. Okay. Well, I like this guy's made a public statement on this. And in some ways, people, you better wake up and see what he's saying. Raptors Nation, if that statement that you heard from Scotty is rubbing you the wrong way, well, you need to search yourself and find out why you not going with Scott, our franchise leader, and the way that he sees it. If you think that Scotty's wrong, well, Scotty solely as an individual is one of the biggest impacts on whether this is going to be right or not. And like I said, I've learned from talking to Scott on Twitch, don't ever doubt him. Don't doubt Scott. If he says he's going to prove something to y'all this year, he's going to. He's going to. Barring injury, he will. He'll be healthy. He's going to be out there. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to prove it. He's going to prove it. Monique is here. Good morning, RaptorsFreak crew. Good morning to you, super fan, Mo. Happy to see you. You missed the role player trivia. I did trivia on the book, and I know you've read this book. And I was like, man, if Mo's here, she'd probably clean up because there's a lot. Nobody read the book except for you and I. So I was like, man, if Mo was here, she could get him. But you can watch the stream back and see which questions you were really like, oh, I knew that one. Oh, I knew that one. But I love you, Mo. I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday morning. And thank you for being here today. Thank you. Fiercely saying, let them sleep on us. We know what's up. We have a nice surprise in store for them. That's right. Like that nuclear submarine that's just trolling around in the Atlantic Ocean. Very, very low on the ground. Nobody knows down there. Ping, ping, ping. The torpedoes away. Boom. All of a sudden, near the top of the Atlantic Division, near the top of the Eastern Conference, near the top of the NBA. And all of a sudden, that submarine emerges from the water. Right next to the coast. Right next to Larry O'Brien. Yeah, that's what we want to see. That's right. Chris comes saying, I like your take on teams will be better than Scotty can guard Cade. You the other way around. I'm concerned with the Magic. I feel Bane was a solid piece to add. What does he really add? Let's just ask that. He adds another undersized guard in their backcourt. He adds some defense that maybe they needed. He adds some three-point shooting that they needed. Sure, but he's not a needle pusher. In some ways, he is going to butt up heads with Jalen Suggs. In some ways, he's going to butt up heads with Paulo and Franz. Because in some ways, the areas that these guys all like to do stuff in is the same areas. So I don't understand. They don't make any sense to me. They say the Raptors don't make sense. The Magic don't make sense to me because they got their two main players are the same player and they have the same weaknesses. That don't make no sense to me. You should have players that diversify and do different things on the court and cover each other's weaknesses like the Raptors. They don't see that with us. No, they're confusing. Well, the Magic are confusing to me. When Franz and Paulo play together, they don't work. And nobody's actually putting that out there in the media. I will. I don't think Franz and Paulo should be on the same team because they are too similar. And they don't have this. They have skills that they lack, both of them same. And that's three-point shit. That's other kind of stuff. They try and score the same way, Banchero and Wagner. They're butting up. And, well, they went and got Desmond Bane, and they're going to put him on a team with Jalen Suggs. Well, they're going to butt up on what they do, too. So it's like, you're going to tell me the Raptors don't make any sense? Motherfucker, the Magic don't make any sense. They don't make any sense to me. I mean, did they get success with this core? They didn't make a leap like Detroit did last year. They actually looked like they regressed last year. When I saw the Magic play the Raptors a couple times this past year, we kicked their ass. And they were not as good as they were the year before. They were not as good as they were 2 years ago. And that's not the direction you're supposed to be going as a team and a franchise. In fact, it looked like some of the players on the Magic did not respect Jamal Mosley anymore. And he's getting tuned out. So it's like they can go ahead and blow smoke off our asses and say this and that about the Magic. Well, I'm looking with my eyes open, and I see more problems there than in Toronto. I see way more problems down there than in Toronto. I'm serious right here. Let's see. Wayne's saying this. Has anyone seen superfan Kia publicly express gratitude to Masai and more than a one-liner? Does anyone think he would have received a championship ring in acknowledgement without Masai? Just thinking. Superfan, you mean Nav? You mean superfan Nav Bhatia? I don't know. You say Kia. Who's superfan Kia? Is that a superfan? I don't know. Mo, do you know superfan Kia? I don't know superfan Kia. Maybe you mean superfan Nav. Well, superfan Nav got a ring. Superfan Nav Bhatia got a ring. He did get a championship ring. That's right. Superfan Kia. I'm not even sure who that is, man. Mo's saying, way to go, open up, Scotty. Yeah, that was awesome. Let's go look at the Instagram stories. Scotty is on point. First of all, we got a bus on the Instagram. It's got Angola's flag and the word Angola, and it's Bruno Fernando's Instagram. He's with Team Angola training for a tournament. There's a basketball tournament for Africa qualifiers, and he's there for it. He's there to represent Angola. So Bruno Fernando's suiting up for Angola at Afro Basket coming up very soon. It looks like Clint Capella's there too. It looks like Clint Capella's there, one of the other guys. So Brandon Ingram's posting. Joe Scott, the song is Decline. Check it out. The album is Sorry I Missed Your Call. So if you want to check out Joe Scott, that's what Brandon Ingram's bumping to in his headphones right now. Jonathan Mobo has got some pickup game. I'm not even sure who these guys are. It could be serious players only or something. I don't know. It's his shoe company. Let's see. He's also got No Troll. He's playing highlights of Colin Murray Boyles, I think. Is that Colin Murray Boyles? I'm not sure. Jonathan has weird posts that I don't totally know who the hell they are. Like, they're just unknown people that he wants to put on blast. Sorry, Jonathan. I can't put him on blast if I don't know even just a little bit. He's also saying where God guides, he provides. I like that. There's a word of wisdom from Jonathan Mobo. Where God guides, he provides. It's also saying this: if it's not built on Christ, the foundation will be shaky. John 14:6. This is good stuff. We're getting words of wisdom and proverbs from our Raptor second-year player, Jonathan Mobo. Jameson Battles welcoming Tyler Wall to basketball team. I don't even know what this team is. You guys have weird friends all over weird places. I can't tell. You guys are just putting people on blast. David Johnson is doing his welcome interview in the NBL. Of course, he's gone to go play in Australia. and he's playing for the Jack Jumpers. And there was his press conference and his media day for coming over there. Colin Murray-Boyles is putting in real work with Carter Bryant, and that looks like NBA legend Cuttino Mobley in between the two of them, training them. So Colin Murray-Barkley has been getting some advice from the old cat, Cuttino Mobley of Houston Rockets fame. If you remember him, Carter Bryant, of course, is there also with Colin. They're in the same representation group. So you'll see Colin Murray-Boyles put on blast Carter Bryant from time to time, just so you know. There's the birthday wish for Chloe Kitts from her boyfriend, Colin Murray-Barkley. Big 21. Happy birthday, beautiful. I'm so lucky to have you in my life, and you've grown so much for us. Keep being who you are and never change. That's hearts for Chloe Kitts, the girlfriend of Colin Murray-Boyles, the number 9 pick in the draft this year. Vin Bagnani is also celebrating something. It's the anniversary dinner last night with him and his wife. And I guess they had it in Spain because they're in Madrid. Lloyd is going to see Fantastic Four. He's got the movie screen up with the 4 on it. I know some friends of mine have seen the Fantastic Four movie a couple times, and they said it's very good. So maybe go check it out. Why not, Lloyd? Why not the cinema? And check out the new Fantastic Four. Monique's been putting this on blast the last day or so. Morris Peterson back at Flint for Michigan State kind of stuff. And he can still do it. There's a highlight of him out in the court and making a shot. And Mo's like, wow, this guy could still play. Morris Peterson's out there doing it at the age of 49. There you go. There you go. Kelly Olynyk, he's not 49 yet. He'll be later this month. Kelly Olynyk at some sort of game with his pregnant wife. I'm not sure what they're taking in. Maybe they're at the tennis here in Toronto right now. Not totally sure. He's got the peace sign up. He's peacing everybody. Norman Powell showing, putting on blast, of course, understand the grind, and Jamaica, Team Jamaica. I don't see the guys with them, though. Like the Thompson twins and other Team Jamaica players are not showing up for practice like Norman right now. They need to come in and show they're dedicated to Jamaica's team also. Amin and Asur, where the hell are you? I don't see you there with Team Jamaica. Slim Duck is showing more and more signs that he is going to be partying and drinking a lot. I feel like he's sad. I don't know what's going on. First of all, he has a picture, Instagram story of a young man dancing in a kitchen with no shirt on. He's got some pretty good moves. He's dancing around, and maybe that's what Chris is saying. He's also taking a video of the red sun in the sky. It's very creepy. Then also he's got like me trying to hype up bro after we just lost 10 ranked games in a row. I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on with Chris. He's got John Cena from this weekend from the WWE pay-per-view he's posted, and John Cena's looking at the crowd, and the crowd's cheering him, and he's feeling all emotional. So he was into that moment from the pay-per-view this weekend with John Cena. That may have happened on Sunday night. He's got some music playing. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Let's get drinks after work. And then Chris is saying, I'm done drinking until next year. He's saying I'm done drinking until next year. So he's not going to be drinking until next year now. So he has one weekend of drinking. I guess it was Civic Holiday. Civic Holiday. He's got Roman Reigns coming into the ring. It says, when you finally decide to face your problems. And it looks like Roman Reigns entering a steel cage, maybe Hell in the Cell or something like that. Yeah, interesting stuff on Chris's Instagram. Hopefully, you know what? He's going to have a team very soon. Orlando Robinson's basketball camp is going on 7th through 8th of August in Las Vegas. I should stop following Orlando since he is Magic now. There's Manuel Quickly taking some videos of the streets of Madrid while the Raptors are in their private mini camp in Madrid, Spain right now. So it's good to see the tourist shots from the Raptors players. And let's see what else. We got Jacoby Walter taking some pictures there too. There's a nice arch. There's Jamal Shed on the street in Madrid, España also. Serge Ibaka is in Miami still. Where in the world is Serge Ibaka? He's still in Miami. He's with his brother. I think his name is Otto Ibaka or something like that. But yeah, he's with his brother. He's got words of wisdom here real quick. You're so focused on the future that you don't realize today was what you prayed for years ago. That's good. That's a good way to look at it. Take stock of where you come from and realize the things that you gained that you dreamt of before. I think that's a good way of looking at it that Serge has put there. AJ Lawson taking a picture of a big, huge, beautiful cathedral in Madrid, Spain, as he practices with the Raptors right now. We got Evan Gilliard II having drinks for his birthday, having a good old time there. Let's see. Is he there with is that Javon Freeman Liberty who's there with him? I don't know. I can't tell. Let's see. But yeah, he looks like he's in the 905 again this year. So maybe Evan Gilliard II will be playing for Mississauga once again on the G League. And that'd be awesome because he had a really good year last year with us. And I'd like to see him return to the 905. Let's see what else we got. That's about it. That's the Instagram stories for today. Yeah, Scotty, I'm glad he went on Twitter and he said what he said. I really am. I'm really, really glad about that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Wayne's saying only players who fit into a system can be a difference maker. We have added a pure hitman to our team. Yes, Nav. He has a Hyundai Kia dealership. So I just mentioned the car. Superman Hyundai Kia. Okay, so you were naming the car. That's why you said that. Yeah, Nav, I don't know. He got a ring because he deserved it. He's our super fan. And I think he got a bona fide one through the team because they want to honor him. You got to understand his dedication, how many games he's gone to, how diligent he's been, how much of a community ambassador, how helpful he's been to our Raptors when they come to town. I mean, in a way, you could say Nab Bhatia is an employee of the Raptors because he does some things that are similar to Shelby. Shelby's the player helper, like the player personnel kind of helper with getting arrangements for housing and different things for players that come here. Well, Nab's helping them get a car and he's helping them do other things like meet people, maybe even get some business endorsements. It could very well be that Nab is a gateway for some of the young Raptors that come here to meet new people and get commercials and opportunities like that. So, I have no problem with Nab Bhatia getting a ring. He's an important part of our organization. And I appreciate him so much. I really do. And I agree. We've got a pure hitman that we added in Brandon Ingram, and they're sleeping on this. Fiercely saying so-called experts ranking us in a bad light or having the magic above us, pure silliness. I mean, in some ways, it's justified to rank the magic above us right now, but that may change very quickly within the first 2 months of the season. They may see that very, very quickly. Who would have thought the number one seed Cavs being eliminated so quickly? You can never tell what will happen. Well, there's a difference between a really good regular season team like the Cavs were and being a playoff tested team that understands how to win the playoffs. Those aren't the same thing. And in some ways, you can be a very good regular season team and fail in the playoffs. The Raptors fans know this from 2010s. We know this from 2010s. It's just how it is. But yeah, the Cavs will be interesting. I think they shook up their team a little bit. I think losing Ty Jerome might hurt. There's a couple of other players that have been kind of switched around. They picked up Lonzo Ball, which is a loser move, in my opinion. Lonzo Ball is not going to help the Cavs. In some ways, he's just been a waste for a while now. So, yeah, I don't know. In some ways, I'm not going to say the Cavs have got better this year. I think that they may have taken a step back also. But they are a very good team, and because of the record last year, and I think they will stay near the top of the Eastern Conference. But I don't think they're better than they were last year in the regular season. Their record may be worse this year in the regular season. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Mo's saying IQ and Jamal are in Spain. They're all there. They're all there. It's not that this Spanish training camp is mandatory, but these guys are there. I mean, I'm wondering if Jakob's there. He may still be with Team Austria. I'm going to have to figure out if we can watch this game with Jakob tomorrow and do a watch along because I'd like to do that for the stream tomorrow. I'm going to find out what time the game is, Bulgaria versus Austria, and we'll probably do a watch along if Jakob is suiting up and playing for Austria again tomorrow. So that's the schedule for tomorrow. It should be a Wednesday watch along, a rare one. We're going to watch Austria versus Bulgaria on the channel, a watch along. I'll do the commentary. I'll call the game play by play, just like Matt Devlin would, because there's no commentary on the FIBA games and there's nobody talking there. So, yeah, check it out. And who knows? Maybe I could even put it up on Discord. Who knows? Probably not. We'll have to see. Fiercely saying, but one thing for sure, we're definitely making the playoffs. Well, Brandon's promised it. That's what I'm going to be calling it this year. Brandon's promise. Brandon has promised we are going to be in the playoffs this year. Well, Brandon, I want to see you come through with your promise. Stay healthy, kick some ass, get your NBA career back to all-star level, and put the Raptors back in the playoffs. That's your promise, Brandon. You promised us this summer you're going to put us back in the playoffs. Well, let's see Brandon's promise come true. That's what we want to see. Trevor's saying RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and DeMar DeRozan in the NBA 2K26 gameplay trailer. I like that. Those guys are guys I like. Igor, his name. Igor, not Otto. Igor Ibaka. That's who Serge is with in Miami right now. Thank you, Fiercey, for correcting me. Monique saying, still glad Kawhi is still in Rwanda. Yeah, it's really great what Kawhi did. Like I said, I feel like Kawhi got a lot out of that experience for himself. And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. He's doing a lot to give back, but he gets a lot in return. And like, wow, I feel fantastic for helping people and being here and feeling the vibes, because it's really good. It's really, really good. Most giving me my cutoff. W stream, W vibes. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Strong forever. Just keeping me limit the comments. Yeah, I got 15 minutes. I'm going to run through the last few tabs. We'll do the classic card and we'll get out of here on time. I really am happy that most of the streams have been going just around 2 hours. We've been really nailing our time pretty good lately, which is fantastic. And I feel like we're doing a good job of covering everything that we would normally cover still. Also, yeah, I don't even want to look at ESPN. It's so stupid. Once again, if you guys want to buy 100% candles, 100% Canadian candles, 100 Years of Love is a Toronto company that hand pours candles from here in Canada. It's Canadian owned and operated. So if you want to buy candles from a source that is not from the US or maybe other places, 100 Years of Love is a great brand to buy candles for. Here's our refs for the WNBA today. Dallas is playing the Liberty. So get your lineup set up. I'm playing Fiercey this week. Isaac Barnett, Gina Cross, and Gerda Gatling are the refs for the Liberty Dallas game. Mystics at Sky, Eric Bruton, Amy Bonner, and Angel Kent. Indiana at Los Angeles, Angelica Suffren, Ashley Gloss, and Catherine Chang. Connecticut at Phoenix, Roy Guibien, Claire Aubrey, and Marcy Williams. And Minnesota at Seattle Storm, Tim Green, Blanca Burns, and Paul Toomey. There's your ref report for the WNBA action today, the referee assignments. Also, yeah, like I said, get your matchups ready. Cool Cat's playing our two-time champion MK this week. Mike, get your lineup ready. You're playing Kareem, full ass versus Logical Raptors fanatic. Edmund versus JP. James versus Kaz. And I am playing Fiercey, the number one team in our league right now. Fiercey Salcero is number one. Number one. All right, let me see. Is there anything else I want to talk about here? Nothing on Blue Sky. We did the birthdays. Happy birthday, DJ Carton. Happy birthday, Chloe Kitts. Okay. Talked about, yeah, there's Kaloy just reposted the Scotty Barnes tweet on our Discord. I see that. Let's see. Fiercey Sam shows the respect Kawhi has for Masai. Very nice of him participating at Giants of Africa. Yeah, it's fantastic. Very, very fantastic. And, it does show that, the history with Kawhi and Masai here in Toronto is huge. Some people have said recently, once again, the most dream-like season in the history of the NBA, the greatest one-off ever one season in the history of the NBA is Kawhi Leonard's season in Toronto. That's one of the most successful seasons any players has had. I get SGA's got a couple MVPs in different ways, but if you think about what Kawhi did in 2019 on the Raptors team, that is really sensational. Really, really sensational and special and important. Let's see. Whoa, drop the book. All right, here we go. Let's get the classic card out. And, we'll do this. This is stupid. In some ways, this is kind of funny because this is somebody in the news. Who is this? Full name answer, please. It's easy. Full name answer. Write both names in. Get the card. That's right. Fiercely saying, I'm still salty Kawhi left, though, but need to move on. It is what it is. We can't change the past. Fiercely's going to get it. Kevin Love. Of course, Kevin Love lost his uncle, Brian Wilson, this year, which is too bad. It's not his real uncle, but like a figurative uncle from the Beach Boys family. But yeah, Kevin Love is the card of the day. And he's still in limbo in a weird way with the Utah Jazz right now. But 50 points on the classic card for Fiercey getting Kevin Love today. Not the hardest classic card. They've been kind of easy lately. But yeah, it was the card I pulled. It was the first card my fingers grabbed. So there you go. Fiercey getting 50 for the classic card of the day. Good job, Fiercey. Your lead is grown slightly, ever so slightly. And great collaboration with Masai. And pretty good. Yeah. All right. I guess we'll finish up. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream today, Tuesday Trivia. Yeah, 50 points per name. No, just 50 for the whole thing. Kevin Love, 50 points. It's too easy. You get more points for the hard questions in the trivia today. 100 points for those questions. But identifying Kevin Love by a picture, that's 50 points. That's too easy. Too easy. Yeah, good job with the trivia today. I'll add up the scores and find out who won overall. We know Kareem started really strong, but near the end, Dan was doing really well too. So we'll have to see what the totals are. I'll post them in the comments shortly after the stream's over. And you can see the current total trivia standings for our Raptor Freak trivia so far this season. That's right. I appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, look out for me maybe at a different time than normal tomorrow, because I will go live for the Austria game if Jakob is going to play. I'm going to get confirmation this afternoon about whether he is going to play again for Austria tomorrow. And if that's the case, I'll set up a schedule for the time when he's going to play. And it could be very early. The game could start at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I may be covering the game at that time, just so y'all know. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody watching the Raptor Freak stream today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, join the channel. It looks like our poll is closed, and 72% of you guys want me to use the light. The light is good. So it's like, here's the light, it's on, and here it is without the light. So yeah, maybe I will use the light going forward. We'll have to see. It's just another thing where I could have technical difficulties, though. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody watching the Raptor Freak stream. I'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully for a watch along of the Austrian team versus Bulgaria. Let's go, Toronto Raptors, baby! Wow!